I want to talk to you about medical courier delivery driver mistakes that could actually cost you thousands of dollars. So in today's conversation, I really want you to pay attention to this overview here. So incorrect deliveries are the number one mistake that really can cost you a lot of cash. And we're talking about the failure to secure other loads in the future, or to actually have to pay third parties like some penalties and what have you. So delivering medical supplies or specimens to the wrong location or recipients can result in costly delays, wasted resources, and potential patient harm, right? Let's say somebody who has a blood level O and blood type O, and you deliver blood A or B, for instance. So it's important to have a clarity of the deliveries. So ensuring the accurate delivery for medical supplies or specimens is paramount in the healthcare industry. Okay, and I don't want to talk about the regulations around healthcare, not only at the state level but also at the federal level. And so it's important to understand that the consequences of errors are multifaceted and severe. Firstly, you have costly delays, because those can really disrupt patient care, leading to compromised treatment schedules and increased expenses for hospitals and clinics. Okay, now it's important to understand that to really avoid this mistake, just make sure that you have clarity about the loads you are hauling. Okay, and when I'm talking about clarity, I'm talking about the location, the specimen, the client number, the client name, all kinds of information that can help you understand that you are indeed delivering to the right address, to the right person. The second mistake I want you to really pay attention to is missed deliveries. So if you are a medical courier or you're trying to become one, you need to be aware of the missed deliveries that happen a lot. Now, timely deliveries in healthcare are paramount. So if failing to meet schedules can be catastrophic. For example, you have delayed medical supplies, medications, or equipment. So you can have like a very, very significant ripple effect, and healthcare operations falter, patient care suffers, and the financial burden skyrockets with rushed orders. So you do not want to be in that situation. It's definitely not a thing to think about. So missed deliveries, if you want to avoid it as well, you need to prepare in advance. So when you get a load, make sure you read everything, all the specs about the load before you start hauling. Boss, welcome back to the show. It's really a pleasure to have you here. Make yourself comfortable. You are going to enjoy today's conversation. Number 3, if you have inadequate handling, this could be a little problem, because when we talk about medical courier delivery driver mistake, inadequate handling can create problems. Let me just explain it real quick. Now, proper handling of fragile or temperature-sensitive medical items is important in healthcare. So when we talk about medical courier, you're talking about drivers who are handling fragile and or temperature-sensitive medical items, right? So mishandling those items can have dire consequences. For instance, and this can potentially lead to damage or spoilage. And so you do not want to be in a situation where your clients or yourself may have to provide costly replacements, putting additional strain on healthcare budgets. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to adhere to strict protocols for the storage and transportation of the medical items you have. Very important. So temperature control storage units, careful handling procedures, and continuous monitoring play crucial roles in safeguarding medical supplies. And this is kind of cool. And the fourth mistake here is lack of documentation. So you need to maintain precise and specific records, and so that you are able to you have a clear idea of what you are hauling, what kind of loads you're hauling. And so when you have comprehensive records, you see clearly where whom you have to deliver to, the type of stuff you are delivering, and the timing of that delivery. Okay, and so you do not want to have billing errors, because if there's no documentation, then you may easily have billing errors causing customers to dispute charges. You do not want to have that as well. Okay, regulatory bodies can take record keeping seriously. For instance, we have at the federal level, you had to I'm kind of blanking right now. We'll come back later on. But the thing is, you have a whole body of regulators that really pay attention to everything. Okay, and so the FDA, that's what I meant. So the FDA plays an important role, and OSHA also plays an important role. OSHA is actually the body that takes care of like everything that has to do with occupational health. Boss, I want to quickly remind you of today's topic. We are having a conversation about medical courier delivery driver mistakes that cost you money big time. Speaking of regulations, number 5, non-compliance with regulations is really a biggie. Let me explain. The thing is that you might be thinking, well, I just want to generate revenue, right? I want to make money, blah, 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 blah. I do not want to abide by the laws and regulations that are happening in the industry. Again, when we talk about laws and regulations, you have multiple layers of regulations. You have regulations at the federal level, you have regulations at the state level, you have regulations at the city level, and so on and so forth, even at the at your township level. And so failure to comply with healthcare regulations and safety standards can have severe consequences. So neglecting those vital guidelines exposes you to significant fines. For instance, you might actually be sued. I mean, you don't want to have your ass in court because the client or the patient can sue you, especially if you have been found to have been grossly negligent. Okay, and you do not want to really besides the payment, the monetary aspect of things, your reputation also plays an important role, because a lot of those medical courier delivery apps, they have a rating system, so clients and patients can rate you. So if you have been good, if you've been professional, you've been courteous with a pharmacy, they will say so, okay, and or a clinic, they will say so. So you really want to really make sure that you are able to comply with regulations, okay. And now, if you want to actually navigate, let's say regulations can be a little complex. The best way for you to do this is to actually ask questions. So when you are going to pick up a load, if you go to a client or a clinic or a pharmacy, and if you have any question, please ask before you actually start picking up the package. One thing I want to say also is that it also depends about your experience though. If you're new to this industry, that means you're going to have to ask more questions. If you're not new, then it's really fine. Then what you want to pay attention to here is the geography and the seasonality, because the medical courier business goes through seasonal cycles of ups and downs. So you want to see which cycle you're in at the moment. Another mistake that you do not want to make if you are a medical courier delivery driver is a poor communication. So when we talk about communication here, we're speaking about a constellation of things. So when people talk about communication, first of all, you have two things you need to pay attention to. You have the means of communication and the recipients of your communication. Let me talk about the means of communication first. So if you are a medical courier, essentially all the communication happens within the app. Okay, so any notifications, anything happens within the app. Now, if the app is sort of is not working or is bugging, whatever, then you can use your mobile phone to actually conduct business. And when that happens, you will receive SMSs from the clients, okay, from the patient also, or from the third-party app platform that really sort of processes everything. So that's the first part. The second part is that you have to deal with people. So when we talk about people, I think I just alluded to it. You have to talk to three types of people. The clients. So in other words, the pharmacy or the clinic or the hospitals for which you are doing the medical courier delivery. That's number one. Number two, you need to pay attention to the patient himself or herself. So if you're probably going to somebody's home, you are going to deliver a specimen. If you're going to somebody has health maintenance processes at home, you're gonna have to deliver a lot of stuff at home. So you need to make sure that you communicate pretty well with the patient himself or herself. And the third person you need to talk to is the app service that really handles everything for your medical courier business. So if you do not have a medical courier business yourself, but you're going through an app, then you need to really make sure that you maintain great relationships with that app especially not the app itself, but the customer service at that organization. So we're talking about you having a triple sort of a triple great communication, and it's always important to be conversational, but also be courteous at all time. Boss, I want to quickly remind you of today's topic. We are having a conversation about medical courier delivery driver mistakes that cost a lot of cash. Number 7, the failure to maintain equipment is also an important sort of mistake that a lot of, especially the rookie medical courier delivery drivers make. And when we talk about maintaining the equipment, we're speaking about a couple of things. First of all, you got to ask yourself a question at all times. Ask yourself, the vehicle I'm driving, does that vehicle fit the types of medical loads I want to haul? If you're going for small items like specimens, parcels, and so on and so forth, then any car can do the trick, right? Can do the magic. You can even go with the regular car, no problem. But if you want to haul specific equipment such as a wheelchair or other stuff that will help a client in his day-to-day, I would say, operations, then you need a specific kind of equipment, especially vehicle. So it's important. So regular maintenance of your vehicles and equipment is essential, as neglecting everything can spell trouble, right? So you want to make sure that you are able to generate revenue day in and day out. You do not want to have disruptions. You do not want to actually have costly delays. You do not want to have breakdowns that really grind operations to a halt. Okay. Moreover, overlooking maintenance can snowball into hefty repair bills that strain budgets and resources. So when we talk about equipment maintenance, we're not speaking about something optional here. It's not an option. It is a necessity, especially if you are in a busy area. Like if you are in New York, if you're doing a medical courier in New York or LA, the conditions are not the same, and the level of competition is not the same as if you are, let's say, Dover, Delaware, or in any other place, right? So you need to adapt your strategy. You need to adapt your vehicle. You need to adapt your operations to the specific rivalry you have. And so by adhering to a diligent maintenance schedule, what happens here is that you are able to ensure that your vehicle lasts longer, which you need anyway, right? And because your vehicle, whether you own it or you lease it, is an important element in your medical courier delivery driving business. Very, very, very important. Mistake number 8, inefficient routing. This is so important. Poor route planning can result in wasted time, fuel, and increased operational expenses. And inadequate route planning can lead to significant inefficiencies and financial burdens. Let me explain this to you really. The thing is that if you are doing medical courier, obviously you are dealing with people's health, right? And most of those deliveries are time sensitive. And if you don't have efficient routing, and especially it's just a lot better to have software for it. Don't try to do things yourself. If you are just hauling 2 or 3 times a day or a week, then it's fine. You can do things manually. But once you start really, you start really trying to become professional, and you want to haul a lot of medical deliveries within the day, let's say 20 or 30, then you need to have an app that helps you bring efficiency into the routing process. And efficient route planning is really great because it saves the valuable hours, minimizes fuel consumption, and keeps operational expenses in check. And so whether you want to use if your medical courier is doing all kinds of loads, OTR, urban, suburban, okay, first mile, last mile, middle mile, no matter what, if you have efficient routing, you'll be able to find the best solutions. Okay, and the cool thing is this also mistake applies whether you have one vehicle or a fleet of vehicles. So if you've done medical courier for a couple of years and you say, you know what, now I'm ready to become a boss and I want to have my own fleet, then you really want to make sure that you invest in routing software. You definitely have to have routing software, especially if you want to scale. if you want to scale, if you want to navigate, if you want to manage multiple drivers at the same time, you need to have efficient routing software. Really important. So you are able to simplify your daily commutes or your daily commutes of your drivers. You can also make sure that you reach your destination swiftly and economically. So this is kind of important. So to avoid this mistake, just to get the best routing software available on the market right now. If you need help, let us know in the comment section, and we'll give you a few names that are really pretty good. The last mistake that a lot of medical courier drivers actually make is actually overlooking special handling requirements. See, the whole thing you need to understand, when we talk about medical courier, or we're talking about healthcare delivery or healthcare transportation in general, you might have from time to time special handling requirements. And those requirements are so quintessential because that's why they're called special. In other words, you need to do everything to make sure that you abide by the instructions. Whether it is you delivering, let's say, a wheelchair, or taking a blood specimen to a senior citizen, whatever it is, make sure that you are able to comply with that. You must understand that neglecting precise handling and storage guidelines for certain medical products, especially temperature-sensitive medications, can have direct consequences, and failure to adhere to those instructions can lead to a spoilage, rendering the medication ineffective or even harmful to patients. And you also want to pay attention to the medical aspect of the things, because again, when we talk about the special handling requirements, we're speaking about a client that has already budgeted certain procedures for the patients. And if you don't go with the plan, then you are putting that client in a whole lot of problem. Okay, so you might have wasted medications, you might have wasted resources, you might have healthcare cost, you might have individual patients who are really pissed off. So not following specific handling and storage instructions for certain medical items, such as temperature-sensitive medication, can really result in losses that you cannot imagine. Okay, so you want to be in a situation where you are clear about what type of loss, what type of risks that you have, what types of instructions that you receive from the clients and or the patients. Because sometimes patients are pretty cavalier, if you will. They will just let you know what they think. They do not want to go through the app or the clinic or the hospital to sort of handle everything. They want to handle things like themselves. So if you have a client who's really hands-on, then you need to really beef up your own knowledge of medical courier business to really survive. Thank you so much for your attention. I really appreciate it. In today's conversation, I was just talking to you about medical courier delivery driver mistakes that cost you a lot of cash. And we're talking about thousands of dollars, if not tens of thousands of dollars. Thank you so much. God bless you. Let me quickly recap those mistakes here. So incorrect deliveries, missed deliveries, inadequate handling, lack of documentation, non-compliance with regulations, poor communication, failure to maintain equipment, inefficient routing, overlooking special handling requirements. Thank you so much for your attention. God bless you. I'll speak to you another time. But until then, remember, stay marvelous.